What's up, everybody? My name's Lisa. I'm about to do the reading here from The Language of Letting Go and picking the Oracle card. I also just did my first Reiki video. Like, it's just all Reiki. So, I don't know. Watch that if you're moved to and let me know what you think. I think the sound was a little bit messed up. I'm going to have to pull out my microphone that I have. But anyway, I put it up there because I was guided to. So, I'm doing as I'm told here. Okay, lovers. Yeah, because that's what we are. We're lovers. We're learning how to love here on this channel in the positive way, in a good way, in a giving and receiving equally way. That's what I want to be about. Yeah. That's the whole reason we're learning from here, okay? Learning together, rising. We're lovers and rock stars. Because just because you're good doesn't mean you can't have a little bit of rock and roll, or I don't want to say rock and roll's bad, but you get what I'm saying, all right? It's all about balance, right? The good and the bad, just knowing how to work with it. Yeah, I like that. All right, so July 9th, overspending and underspending. I used to beat my husband to death with my credit card. It made me feel like I had some control, some way to get even with him. Anonymous. Dang. I spent 10 years buying everything for myself at garage sales. I didn't even buy myself a new pair of shoes. The entire time I was depriving myself. My husband was gambling, speculating on risky business deals. Speculating on risky business deals and doing whatever he wanted with money. I learned that when I made a decision that I deserved to have the things I wanted, and I made a decision to buy something I wanted, there was enough money to do it. It wasn't about being frugal. It was about depriving myself and being a martyr. Anonymous. Compulsive buying or overspending may give us a temporary feeling of power or satisfaction. But like other out of control behaviors, it has predictable negative consequences. Underspending can leave us feeling victimized too. There is a difference between responsible spending and martyr deprivation. There is a difference between treating ourselves well financially and overspending. We can learn to discern the difference. We can develop responsible spending habits that reflect high self-esteem and love for ourselves. Today, I will strive for balance in my spending habits. If I am overspending, I will stop and deal with what's going on inside me. If I am underspending or depriving myself, I will ask myself if that's necessary and what I want. Dang. So these are some harsh lessons. At least like I've gotten some seriously harsh lessons with money, okay? And yeah, you know, yeah, it's still about learning how to achieve that balance, and like still, always being able to pay everything. I've been in where I've like lost everything. I've lost everything several times, okay? But each time I've gradually learned everything is about balance. Where'd the cards go here? Here they are. Yeah, it's really about allowing ourselves to be disciplined by the universe, by God, okay? Whomever you're comfortable with referring, just this a power greater than yourself, okay? The coyote just popped out here, okay? But I didn't even ask for the cards. So I'm going to shuffle again and see what else we're getting. But yeah, it's like I know that, and I just speak from my experience because it's really all I know. All I know is my experience, and so I feel like if I'm sharing my experience, then it's easier for you guys to relate to, like whatever that means. Although you can interpret it any way you want, but I know that I've had times where, yeah, like I've been feeling like shit, and then I go out and I spend money on whatever it is, to kind of it just to fill the void, to fill that ache. And the ache is still there, like after the high of whatever it is I just purchased. I mean, I remember one time, um I would literally, it was like I was having like a, with going through withdrawal from drugs. And this is like in my sobriety. I was not, I was sober, okay, but this is like I've experienced the breakdown of this like whole money thing. Like we're using it where it's not money. Money can't fix you. You know, that hole, what I found, that hole can only be fixed by the love of God, by the love of the universe, by that, okay, by facing um the heartache, the pain, whatever it is that's that void here, okay? So like I remember I had this thing for designer bags, and getting in my car and like literally shaking, like driving to um, go to the store to buy a designer bag. And like once I would buy it, I would exhale. Same as the way that I was like when I took my first sip of my alcohol for the day, or did, my first line of Coke, or popped their first pill, or whatever it was, that okay? It's like those outside sources, they can't be, they're not going to what I found anyway. It's nothing. Like nothing else, nothing can come between my connection with my higher power. Okay, here's the crow, but I'm not really paying attention as I'm doing this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But yeah, I'm hearing direct honesty, okay, with self, okay, because it doesn't really matter what anybody else has to say about what I'm doing or who I am or whatever, okay, but it's like, to thine own self be true. Like who am I, okay? What was causing me to go? I was so uncomfortable alone. I was alone at that time, like alone meaning like I wasn't in a relationship or anything. And just the inadequacy. I was overweight. I just felt very inadequate with myself, and I was very uncomfortable in my skin, and looking for all these other outside sources. I mean, I've used it all, okay? Sex, drugs, rock and roll, like everything, okay? Money, nothing. It all boils down to um the only thing that can fill that void is, love of self. And the only way that I've learned to love myself is by surrendering, surrendering to the fact that I don't know it all, and I don't have all the answers, and I have to allow God to discipline me in my life. That shit takes practice, okay? And my connection with my higher power has grown and changed over the years, just as I've grown and changed. Like I'm not still spitting the same story that I was, 20 years ago when I first got sober. My story's completely different. Because my perspective changes, as I grow and heal, and as I move through and make these like dire mistakes. Oh my gosh. If I had a dime for every person that thought I was a freaking idiot, like, oh my God, I'd be a millionaire right now. But you know what? I was learning and growing and healing from the inside out. I wouldn't not make any of the mistakes that I've made mistakes. I don't even like calling them mistakes, but especially with money. I've lived where, I've split a peanut butter and jelly. That's what's for dinner, and there's 3 pieces of bread, okay? 2 slices went to my son's sandwich, okay? And then I got peanut butter and jelly on 1 slice of bread. I mean, you just do what you got to do, And it's like I've just been on both sides of the spectrum, and it doesn't matter. Like, I've deprived myself from a lot of stuff, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need that money next week. But it's like, you got to live a little. And the only way that I've really learned how to, I'm not even going to say that I've learned how to balance with money. I feel like that is something that I'm just moving into myself. figuring it out like over the last couple of years. All right, so let's see what this mystical shaman oracle has to say for us today. Water. Okay, so this was at the bottom of the deck when that last card came out. So we have been seeing the cards we need to see, which I don't know why it was. Okay, 61. But water is very powerful, okay? Okay, so let's see. Water symbolizes purification, regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift from the former self to the new self. Many myths around the world speak of a great flood and the new life that is revealed after a deluge. Water begins without boundaries. Then, as soon as form separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time and life, thus acquiring limitations. The invitation. When water arrives, you're invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable and do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. Cool. This is a time of cleansing, unwanted energy, and sticky feelings. Consider this. What water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual in the spirit. The spiritual cleansing, like baptism, is the opportunity to get an instantaneous experience of the timeless, non-ordinary reality in which all true creation takes place. Now is also a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung talked about the maternal, womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol. Water represents the potential of existence. It precedes and sustains every creation. Emergence from its manifestation, immersion in its dissolution of form. Because of this, it symbolizes regeneration. Make way for the process. You can accept it to be messy. You can expect it to be messy, but worth it. I feel like this just ties into everything that we were talking about. Everything's changing. So, expect some twists and turns and some ups and downs, but it's like continue to have gratitude. I feel like gratitude is what's going to allow this purification or you to enter into this purification more steady. Yeah, I'm hearing allowance. Okay, I'm also hearing something about marble. Marvel. But definitely make sure you're taking your salt baths because there's huge cycles ending for everyone, for the whole planet, for the whole universe. Okay, and so it's like just let go. Like something I like to do is I go to the beach and I freaking jump in the ocean, and I before I go into the ocean and like totally go underneath the water, like as I'm walking in there, I ask for the ocean just to cleanse and purify every inch of me, to clear off anything that's just no longer serving of me, and if you can't go jump in the ocean, do it in the shower, do that in a bath. But you can use water to speak things into creation, to fruition. You can create with water. Wow, and then there's thunder here. Look, water and thunder. So it just makes me think of like a rainstorm, there is a purification going on here. And then the sun comes out. See it, and the purification, the release, the detoxification. So I'm hearing something about like crutches. Like, so maybe you guys like had like, or maybe I don't want to say like whatever. I'm just going to keep it on me. So it's like vices, like different vices. And I feel like you're being healed of these vices, like these things that you would reach for in order not to feel. And so the guidance here is to allow yourself to feel it and to, if you can go spend some time around water, you know, another thing to do, and something else that I do is I speak into my water all the time. You know, I just, and you speak it in a way as if you're like, I am, okay? I am whatever it is that you want. And, you know, like I am the mother of happy, successful, confident children. That's one of the things that I say. And, it's not so much that like poof, like magic, these things come about, but things will, because you're speaking it and because you're speaking it into the water and these positive affirmations into your water, it's like it builds up a world around you that is an allowance to the things that you're already referring to yourself as, you know, so that these things come about. I hope I explained that right. But I'm also hearing trust the process and yeah, move with the flow. That was even the thing. It's like things are going to go up and down. I feel like things will go up and down, and then the more that you it's like maybe the first time that you try to release this vice, you know, you immediately, like an hour later, you went back to it, okay? and and then the next time you tried to release the vice, and this time it took you 2 hours before you went back to it, okay? And then the third time you did it, and it's like 10 hours until you go back to it, you know? So maybe some of you are like using money, like spending money, just in connection to the reading that went before this. So it's something about vices here, but just to understand that you're still making progress. Okay. So maybe you haven't exactly laid down that vice, but it's like you're stepping further and further away, and to allow yourself, yeah, just to go with the flow and to move with the flow and to allow yourself to, um, begin to practice letting go of your need to control, so that it's like easier for you. It's like to allow yourself to ease into the release of whatever it is that you've been clinging on to or using as a cushion to resist. I don't, it feels like there's healing, okay? There's healing that needs to take place that's being avoided, okay? Yeah. So, all right. There you go, guys. I love you. If anybody's interested in a personal reading, all my information is in the description box. If you go on my website to purchase the reading, just use sale code SALE, sale, and then 50 for 50% off. So there you go. But again, all my information is in the description box. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.